La Bonheur Children's Hospital has the vision to address the needs of children beyond the hospital's walls, particularly those at risk, through preventative community strategies, investments, and partnerships. Jennifer Taylor, manager of injury prevention and Safe Kids Mid South, is here with us to discuss a very important topic on this podcast today, which is drowsy driving. This is the Peds Pod by La Bonheur Children's Hospital. I'm Bill Klaproth. Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us today to talk about such an important topic. So first off, can you tell us more about Safe Kids Mid South, and then we can get into learning more about the dangers of drowsy driving.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me today, Bill. I would love to tell you more. Well, Safe Kids Mid-South is one of many community programs that we have at La Bonheur Children's Hospital. Safe Kids Mid-South works to prevent accidental injuries to children. Our programs and partnerships include a variety of things, such as proper installation and use of child safety seats. We also have safe transportation, safe sleep practices, water safety, and even pedestrian safety in school zones. So many other programs to raise awareness and promote safety to children and their families.
This is such a great program helping to prevent these accidental injuries in children. And one of the things that does cause a lot of accidents that we may not think about is drowsy driving. That's what we want to talk about today. So how does Safe Kids help with the effort against drowsy driving?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Within the Safe Kids Mid-South Coalition, we partner with Kathy Wright and the Cal Canal Foundation. So the purpose is to help share information and promote safe practices when it comes to drowsy driving. It is key to bring this information to light so we can definitely prevent any future or possible accidents for teens or anyone for that matter. There are 4 Ds when it comes to driving, including distracted, drunk, drugged, and drowsy. I know drowsy is one we just don't talk about as often, but it's just as important.
Yeah, it sure is. And those 4 Ds are the 4 deadly Ds: distracted, drunk, drugged, and drowsy. And like you say, drowsy is one that doesn't get a lot of attention. So what is the official definition of drowsy driving?
The official definition is defined as operation of a motor vehicle while being impaired by lack of sleep. It can be caused by things like shift work, medication, illness, and stress.
When it comes to drowsy driving, what should we be looking for? What are some of the warning signs parents and teens should look for and know about in order to prevent drowsy driving?
Everyone should look out for impaired vision and focus time, which are big warning signs. You can also look out for things like daydreaming, yawning, and even drifting lanes. The best way to prevent drowsy driving is to follow best sleep practices. The recommended amount of uninterrupted sleep should usually be around 8 to 10 hours. It's so important to remember children should turn off their electronic devices at least 30 minutes before their bedtime. We should all stress healthy sleeping habits for our children and the entire family. When you think about it, we all do so much and are so busy. As a family, you should all sit down and think twice about how busy your schedules actually are. This is a serious problem for all teens, and more times than not, teenage boys are more affected.
Yeah, so true. So can you tell us a little bit more about the Kyle Canal Foundation that you mentioned earlier? What is the story behind that?
Of course, the foundation is run by a member of our Safe Kids Coalition, Kathy Wright. founded by her family in memory of her nephew Kyle, who passed away at the age of 17, when through no fault of his own, he lost his life to a drowsy driver while he was on a walk with a friend. Kyle was a high school student on his high school's varsity wrestling team. He played guitar. He had stellar grades. He had such a bright future ahead of him. And Kyle's foundation was established to educate teens about sleep and the dangers of drowsy driving. His family believes there should be no drowsy driving crashes, and education is the key to prevention.
That is a moving story, and thank you for sharing that with us. That is horrific what happened to Kyle. He is out on a walk, and here his life is taken from him because of a drowsy driver. So this really brings to light this important message that you're talking about today about the dangers of drowsy driving. So can you share with us any final thoughts that you would like to leave about the Kyle Canale Foundation or about drowsy driving?
Yes, Bill. The biggest takeaways is that just because the car is outside and the key is in your hand, you don't have to drive and put yourself or others at risk when you are drowsy. There are definitely other options, such as getting an Uber, walking, riding with a friend, but driving shouldn't be the option when one is drowsy. Parents should monitor their child's sleeping schedule and even their own. There have been over 1.2 million drowsy driving crashes. We can all become more educated on drowsy driving and prevent these accidents from occurring. Lastly, please go to calcanalefoundation.org for more information about the foundation and to learn more about drowsy driving.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for talking through this topic with us. I think this really does illustrate the importance of places like Le Bonheur and the partnerships that you have. The work you all do and the work of the Kyle Canale Foundation really are of supreme importance. In fact, it can be the difference between life or death. Jennifer, thank you again for your time. We really appreciate it.
And thank you so much, Bill, for having me.
And once again, that's Jennifer Taylor. And to learn more, please visit lebonheur.org/podcast. And be sure to subscribe to the Pete's Pod on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also check out lebonheur.org/podcast to view our full podcast library. And if you found this podcast helpful, please make sure you share it on all of your social channels. This is the Pete's Pod from Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. I'm Bill Klaproth. Thanks for listening.